Hey, before we dive in, make sure you hit subscribe. This story is going to take you somewhere raw and real. The first time I felt that gnawing, unbearable tension in our marriage, it was a Thursday evening. The apartment smelled faintly of jasmine, her favorite candle, but it did nothing to mask the cold distance between us. I'd just come home early from work, expecting the usual warm smile, the laughter echoing from the kitchen. Instead, she was on the sofa, scrolling her phone with a calmness that made my stomach twist. "Hey," I said, trying to mask the suspicion in my voice. She didn't look up. "Hey," she muttered. It was the tone that got me, the clipped, almost rehearsed way she said it. My heart sank a little. I had started noticing things over the past few weeks. Whispers in her messages, late-night calls she pretended were work-related, and a sudden interest in going out with friends I barely knew. I tried to convince myself it was paranoia, that I was overthinking. But tonight felt different. I leaned over her shoulder, catching a glimpse of a text flashing on her screen. "Can't wait to see you tonight," face blowing a kiss. My pulse slammed. I wanted to ask, to demand, but the word stuck in my throat. She finally noticed my stare and rolled her eyes. "Go home if you're jealous," she said lightly, almost teasingly, but there was an edge, a sharpness I couldn't ignore. I froze. The words weren't playful. They were a challenge. And in that split second, I felt the fracture in our marriage widen. Something I couldn't just smooth over with apologies or reassurances. The room felt smaller suddenly. The soft glow of the lamp couldn't warm me. I wanted answers, but I also wanted to protect what little dignity I had left. And then she smiled, that perfect, practice smile that used to melt me, and it felt like a weapon pointed straight at my chest. I walked to the door. I didn't know if I'd be walking back. And as I stepped outside, the cool night air hitting my face, I realized I was standing at the edge of something I wasn't sure I could survive, and I spent the walk home in silence, letting the streetlights blur past me like the questions spinning in my mind. My phone buzzed repeatedly in my pocket, her name flashing, multiple messages I didn't want to read but couldn't ignore. I slowed, stopping under a flickering lamppost, finally letting myself open them. "Sorry, can't talk now." Busy winking face. "Had an amazing time tonight," face blowing a kiss. "Can't wait to see you again." My hand shook. Each word cut deeper than I expected. She had a side I didn't know, a secret life tucked neatly between the mundane routines of our marriage. Memories of her kisses, her laughter, the way she used to squeeze my hand during late-night movies. It all felt fragile, like it could shatter with the slightest pressure. I remember the nights she said she was working late, the dinners she forgot, the laughter echoing from her phone when she claimed she was home alone. I'd always trusted her, and now each memory felt like a lie carefully rehearsed. I debated calling her, confronting her immediately, but my fingers wouldn't obey. Instead, I sat on the curb, head in my hands, replaying our last conversation over and over. "Go home if you're jealous." At the time, it had sounded like a challenge. Now it was a taunt, a warning almost. I decided I needed proof. Not accusations, not suspicions, but undeniable truth. The kind that couldn't be waved away. The next day, I followed her subtly. Nothing reckless. Just enough to see where she went after work. She met someone, her movements casual, her smile easy, the kind of smile reserved for someone who knows secrets will remain unspoken. They hugged, lingered, and laughed in a way that made my stomach turn. My heart pounded so hard I thought she might hear it if she looked back. I backed away, feeling hollow. Everything I believed about us, about trust and love, was slipping through my fingers. And when she called me later that evening, her voice warm and familiar on the line, I realized she didn't know how close I'd been to discovering everything. Or maybe she did. Either way, the next time I saw her, nothing would be the same. That night, I returned to our apartment, feeling the tension like a living thing pressing against my chest. The door clicked behind me, and I saw her on the sofa, phone in hand, as if nothing had happened. Her smile greeted me, warm, casual, and utterly foreign now. "I missed you," she said lightly, like a rehearsal from some play I didn't know I was in. I didn't answer. Instead, I held up my phone, the evidence blinking at her. The texts, the photos, the messages exchanged at odd hours with someone else. Her smile faltered, but only for a moment. Then she laughed softly, almost mockingly. "So that's what this is about." "You lied to me," I said, voice tight. "Every night you said you were busy. Every dinner you forgot. The calls, the texts, how long?" She leaned back, eyes calculating. "Long enough that you're here, looking like a jealous fool." I felt a surge of anger, pain, and betrayal all at once. Jealous? No. I'm hurt. I'm broken because I trusted you, because I believed in us. She shrugged. "Maybe you should have gone home sooner." Her words hit like a punch. I realized then that the person I loved, the one I thought I knew, was gone. What remained was someone I didn't recognize. The betrayal wasn't just the affair. It was the way she could look me in the eye and still treat our bond like a game. I dropped the phone on the table and walked out, leaving her staring after me, a mixture of confusion and entitlement on her face. The hallway felt colder than ever. Outside, the night air hit me with a sting of clarity. I deserved better. I deserved truth. And if she couldn't give it, staying would only destroy what little self-respect I had left. I didn't know if I would ever forgive her or if I wanted to. But for the first time in months, I felt free from the suffocating doubt. The betrayal cut deep, yes, but also opened the door to my own strength. Sometimes love doesn't protect you. Sometimes it exposes the cracks. And walking away isn't defeat, it's survival. If this story hit you, share your thoughts below. And don't forget to subscribe for more stories that show the messy, raw, and human side of love and betrayal.